Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Wednesday, the 7th of August. With McShane, working our way through Psalms. Today we read Psalms 7 and 8. And in Psalm 8 we have these two verses that David writes. He says, verse 3 and 4, "When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place. What is mankind that you are mindful of them, human beings that you care for them?" And as I read that, I thought, David had no idea. He was looking up the night sky and seeing stars spread across it. No doubt many, many, many more stars than we can see from Johannesburg. And even when you go to the Karoo, you're probably seeing about the same number of stars he did. Maybe our atmosphere is a little slightly more opaque because of pollution these days. But he didn't yet know that white smudge across the skies, which we call the Milky Way, was actually the light from billions of stars shining down on us. And it just so happens that yesterday I was watching a short YouTube video by Brian Cox where he was talking about our universe, and he just mentioned the number of stars, and he said that in our galaxy we have anything between 200 and 400 billion stars. Nobody's entirely sure. And if we take the conservative estimate, say 200 billion, and we look around the observable universe, which is just the space that we can see with our modern technology, he says there are 2 trillion galaxies. So now if each of those only has 200 billion stars, he says that we're talking about 4 with 21 noughts behind it, that many stars. So when David says, "When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place," he really didn't know the enormity of the picture. We do. And we can echo what he says. What are we? How do we matter? This tiny little planet, one of 8 planets with 5 dwarf planets, orbiting an insignificant, fairly small star in edge of a spiral universe, a spiral galaxy, one of trillions of galaxies. To think that we matter? If we're not created by God, there's no ways we can think we have any significance whatsoever in this universe. But the fact that God created us, that God created that entire universe, that the heavens will declare the glory of God, and the more we see, the more glorious he becomes. And he cares about us. Even just in the human race, he cares about me, one of 8 billion people. We can't even count all the people accurately. There's so many people. But God knows each one of us by name. And not only does he know us by name, he knows when we arise and when we lie down. He knows everything about us. And that is just too vast, too enormous for us to grasp. And here we are. And God says, we count. What a wonderful, wonderful thought. That in the midst of this enormity, each one of us matters. What a glorious thought. Be blessed.